So, I'm about to show you probably one of the most stressful, worst days of RVing that I've had in a very long time. We pulled into Rock Cut State Park in Rockford, Illinois, just as it was starting to rain. We plugged in, and when I hit, as soon as my plug, where it was a 30 amp service, so I was using the dog bone and a surge protector, plugged in, blew the breaker. What the heck is going on? Fortunately, it started pouring rain, so I was super stressed out at this point. That's why I did not have a camera with me. I probably should have shot that part too. Tried to troubleshoot a bunch of stuff, tried to get moved to a different site. Have a 75-foot extension cable, so we plugged that in, plugged into a different site without moving to see if it would work. Kept tripping the breaker, kept tripping the breaker. And I'm like, well, maybe there's something wrong with my coach. I hit the generator fires right up, powers the whole coach, everything's fine. Crap, maybe there's something wrong with my transfer switch. So this madness ensues. Okay, so what we got going is the transfer switch, which lives right here in the motorhome. Is basically what happens is the power comes in from shore power, which is unhooked right now, and it goes into this switch, and these two big relays decide whether there is power going from the generator, which comes up from this way, or it's shore power coming into this way. Then this is the power out to the motorhome. So it's not switching back and forth correctly. So I'll show you what I bought. Hopefully this fixes it, because right now we have no electricity. Okay, so here's the new one. So the way this one is wired is a little bit backwards from what I've got, so I'll have to move a couple things around. So this has the generator circuit coming in on the left and the shore power coming in on the right, so I'll have to swap those. And then the power from the coach comes in here. So basically what happens is when the generator is on, it pushes this relay pushes in and connects and sends power through these top wires to the coach. When the generator is off and the shore power is plugged in, this relay clicks in and sends straight through to the coach. And the idea is that it is made to where they both cannot be on at the same time. And I think what's happening in mine is something is saying that the generator is on even when it's not, and the shore power, they're both hooking up at the same time and blowing the breaker, basically, is what's happening. So we got to go in there, unhook a bunch of wires, pull it all out, and see what we can see. And it's out. And I can't tell any immediate, this thing has been hot, burn marks, a little bit of corrosion maybe. So hopefully this fixes it. But it could be internal. Once we get the new one in, and if it fixes it, we'll take this one apart and see what happened inside. Alright, so we've got the box mounted in there. Now all I've got to do is run all the wires back inside and hook them up. So this is the fun, awkward part. I'd be shooting more of this live, but I don't have room for me and a camera and everything in here, so. Okay, so this is all in. Everything's wired in. Coach to the top, generator to the left, shore power into the right, which is opposite of what it was before. All the ground, chassis ground from outside coming in. Okay. So the moment of truth is this. Hang on one second. Breaker off. And we're on a 30 amp pigtail also. So breaker on. Come down here and look at our surge protector. And we have 3 green lights. You probably can't see them very well because they're LEDs. Here's the moment of truth. This better work. Didn't work. Didn't work. Yeah, $255 later and a new transfer switch, and it has still the same problem. I'm pretty good with this electrical stuff. I mean, I'm in electronics. That's what my living is. I know how to troubleshoot circuits. I'm not dumb about this stuff, and I was like, come on man, what is going on here? So here's the thing, it was a state park, so we couldn't run our generator. My batteries were a day and a half into this thing, or well, about a day into this thing, and I'm like, my batteries are gonna start going dead. We need heat, it's freezing cold. Let's move to a different park, and then we'll have, at least we'll be able to run our generator and charge our batteries up and decide what our next move is, because I don't want to have, I don't want to be sitting here with no solution. So we moved to a different park. I found a different park about 15-20 minutes away. We moved over here, plugged in, and everything is fine. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the power at the park is bad. Which I should have known, which I should have tested, which from now on I will test. Went to Home Depot yesterday and got one of these dudes. Got this idea from my buddy Dan at Guns and Guitars and his other YouTube channel. I'll link it right here. I can't remember what it's called. Guess it goes in like a flashlight. Oh, we got a battery. We got a battery tone. Excellent. So what this allows you to do is stick it in stuff that you're not supposed to stick it in. Let me show you. So probably one of the things you should do with this thing, what this does is, without touching anything dangerous, makes it to where you can test power before you plug in and make sure that you don't have the problem that I had. If I had this, between this and a polarity checker, which I just use my meter for, I could have solved this whole problem and known that there was a problem at the pedestal before I ever even plugged in. One of the suggestions I saw when looking at some videos about this, and I never thought about it, but they're right, is actually just touch the actual box with this. If that were to beep, walk away. Don't even plug anything in, don't touch anything, because this would be able to tell if there was a bad ground at the box. And I've actually seen it before where this box was hot, like where if you touched it you would get shocked, because there was a bad ground at the box. Now this is a nice park that we're in, but some of those more sketchy parks, they might have that problem. So then what we can do is we can go in here and we put this in the ground, there's not going to be anything. If we put this in the neutral, there's not going to be anything. We put this in the hot, we've got our voltage. Now here's the thing, if there was a short here, and if, for example, the neutral was hot, which I think what was happening at the other place, there would be voltage on both of these things, or if the ground was bad, we would be able to see that as well. So if I had this tool and would have used it properly and tested the outlet before I even got there, then probably would not have had this problem. So I'm going to use my meter to check polarity, and I'm going to use that probe to check voltages from now on before I plug into anything, and I'm not going to rely on my surge protector. I do not understand why my surge protector did not tell me that there was something wrong at that park. So that I want to do a little much research in and maybe upgrade my surge protector. If you have experience with this or a problem, let me know, because I would like to explore that a little bit more. I'll leave a link to everything I'm using in the description of this video for now, and then as I change it, we will update you, because we do not want to have this problem again. And I do not want to plug into a park and either damage my coach or have problems with voltage, and then spend $255 on a transfer switch that I did not need. By the way, that transfer switch I bought is really nice, and it's way nicer than the one that came in the coach. So we're just gonna call it an upgrade, whatever. I couldn't return it because it was an electric part. But if you need a new transfer switch for your coach, I recommend it. It's really nice. It's built way better than the one I had, and it works awesome, obviously. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you soon. I'll put a link to that in the description too. We'll see you soon.